In terms of the other challenges that are there, I think finding clients, of course, is one of the biggest things that you will find. I myself used to think I'll never figure out this code. How do you find clients? Things are changing. It was at Ramanuja's suggestion that I kind of went into creating online content, and I've been I'm very grateful. I've actually been finding a lot of clients from this. But another source, originally my source of revenue, my source of clients was always this one relative here, some long lost friend there, calling me up saying that I have a friend or that I have a family member, that I have this XYZ person who is in need of some help or some legal advice. Could you please, give them 5 minutes of your time? And one thing that I've realized, the biggest challenge you'll see is not in getting clients. Because as a lawyer, as a human being who steps out, perhaps, if you're some lazy slob who, sits on his couch all day long and just watches Netflix or something, it might be a little bit of a difficulty. But if you say head out in social situations, if you go to your local Agarwal Mahasabha, you'll never have a problem with finding clients or meeting more people, right? Even online for that matter. But the bigger challenge that you will find is that when these people ask you for advice, or when these people approach you and try to kind of understand what their situation is from you, if you do not know the little nuances of what their case is about, even before they themselves talk about it, they will not be convinced in hiring you. Anyways, most of you are young lawyers over here. If you do not have, if your face does not have those years of experience, if you don't have those white strands of hair to justify the kind of price tag that you want to command, it becomes even more difficult. And forget about fees. I say initially, try just to get a hang of starting a case from the very beginning and taking it till the end. I say charge as little as possible, just cover up your expenses, and sometimes not even that. But the problem is that a person is not there to fight a free case. They will want to hire somebody, especially if they have money. They will want to hire somebody, pay him good money, and get that thing done properly, rather than hand over his or her file to you, the inexperienced lawyer, who might make such a mess up out of the case anyways that perhaps what the client saved on fees, he will have to fulfill paying costs to the court when the judge imposes those costs, because the lawyer did not know anything at all. So the point that I'm trying to make is, the problem that you will face is when the client comes to you, you have to be 2 steps ahead of the client, be sure about exactly what the client situation is, what the client should be wanting, what is realistically possible in the client scenario, and what is the method of getting there. But one even more crucial factor is showing the client that you've done stuff like this in the past, or stuff similar to this in the past. Doesn't need to be your own case, could be your senior's case, could be your colleague's case, but you should be intimate with the details, not stuff that you will find online like order sheets or maybe copies of petitions, but stuff like, all right, if we go to the judge, if we do the filing today. So one of the first questions that will come to the client is, and they'll ask you midway, they'll not ask you prior and you say, okay, give me some time, I'll get back to you. One of the first questions that will come midway into the conversation when they're kind of considering you is, okay, how soon can you prepare this? When you file this, after that, how much time will it come up before the court? What is the first order that the judge is going to pass? Are we going to be able to get some interim relief? And what is the possible timeline in which this entire thing can be wrapped up? Now, these are questions which the client will have. If you do not have an answer to those questions, the client will go away. And I saw this from the very first month of my practice, right? I become a lawyer. I posted on social media that yes, I'm a lawyer. Nowadays, LinkedIn has this option where lawyers and other professionals can say, I am open for business, right? So I posted on social media, I put up a picture of me in a band and in a coat and in a gown, and a couple of people call up but I am not able to close anybody, right? Because of this exact same reason, because I can look up the law and tell them what the law is. So I remember the first few cases were, some cousin from far away, from some other state, some friend who called up and said, I have this friend who has this issue. Now, if you do say, okay, outside of friends and family, how did I score those clients? Those were these clients who were satisfied with my work. They're the ones who actually came up and said that, all right, I have this thing, I have this friend. So so of course, that's one conventional way. That's how I started out. And that was always there, that, some family member is satisfied because I gave them good legal advice or I did some good work for them. And they referred me, and then the person who I did the work for, he referred me further. That was always there. But one thing that I do want to point out is that these kind of cases, you can never be sure. You are always kind of, there have been times, it's been a couple of years since I've gone independent. And there is always this uncertainty to the whole deal, where you are twiddling your thumbs, waiting for the next client to walk in your door, especially after you've done with all your matters, right? Then what do? One thing I started doing was that kind of just went out of my comfort zone of having these clients and doing their matters and then waiting and watching and waiting and watching, was that I proactively approached other people in the industry, right? Doing things, interesting things, which I found interesting, and I said, I want to learn those things, I want to work on those things with you. And so, for example, there was an advocate on record who is a college senior of mine, perhaps around 7 or 8 years senior to me. And I went up to him around 2 years ago and I said, sir, I hardly know anything about the Supreme Court advocacy work. I want to learn how to do the filing and the arguments and everything over there in the Supreme Court. I am not looking for a salary, because the moment I would have said salary, he himself was at this stage in his career where he would not be able to afford paying, say, 15, 20, 30,000 rupees to a junior counsel. Because you yourself have a lot of expenditures when you are an independent practicing counsel. You have office expenditure, you have to have an office boy, you have to have those, you have to have a munshi, especially if you're an AOR, you have to have a munshi who himself will command anywhere between 30 to 60,000 rupees a month just to do the filing work, because it is so highly specialized. So I told him that I do not want any money, because I anyways have those clients, the people who have come to me through the family and the friends and whatever. But so I don't want any money, and of course I have these clients because of which I'll not be able to come to your office maybe every single day, and I'll not be able to attend to your matters from the starting of the morning to late at night. But what I can do is, whatever time I do have left, I'll come to your office, I'll do your drafting for free, and I just need you to kind of correct me where I'm going wrong and guide me through that. One thing, of course, was that my understanding of Supreme Court work solidified quite a bit. But then again, coming back to my original point, that a lot of people will approach you, but you will always, unless you're able to convince them very thoroughly, you will not get those clients. And this was around the time when I approached him, this was around the time that I had 2 or 3 people come to me and ask me about Supreme Court work. They said, I have this case that I need to file, or that I'm supposed to be defending this particular case in the Supreme Court. What do you think? How can you help me? And at that point of time, I gave them the solution that I thought was the most appropriate. But it was not good enough, because I did not know about the exact practice, the procedure, the timelines that I mentioned. And because of that, I lost those clients. When I joined this AOR, I worked with him for about just 3 or 4 months. But I learned so much about the ins and outs, and that too not a full-time thing. It was just a couple of hours a day, every single day, and going to Supreme Court and hearing these same matters being argued, arguing a couple of those matters myself for that AOR just for 3-4 months. But just because of that, my conceptual theory solidified so much better that when clients started coming, I got many more matters in the Supreme Court, which I was then able to close those clients, right? But one thing that I do want to mention is that going online really helps. And not just in ways that you might imagine. I did get a lot of publicity because of this one case that I did. Sarabjit Singh, I did that. I got a little bit of publicity from there. I started making a couple of videos, and a couple of people called me. They said that I saw Sarabjit's thing, I saw your videos, then I wanted to hire you. That's all fine. But one thing that, and a lot of people, like just last night I was at this lawyer's wedding event, and they were like, all these lawyers were like, oh, I mean, are you getting clients online? Is it helping you online? And what is the money? What is the act, like, give me a number. How much money have you made in the past 6 months by going online and doing this stuff? But I told them that it doesn't, I mean, the number's quite good as well. But more than that, what matters to me is that there is this certain amount of credibility that I add to myself, and I add some, expertise, right? Some people call it thought leadership. I'm adding to that, and I'm much more excited about by these just 30, 40 videos. And mind you, every single one of you can sit in front. I have never used any professional recorder. I just have my phone. I have a 300 rupee mic, and any one of you could catch up to me in perhaps 10 days by making 4 videos a day. And if you actually watch my videos, my goodness, I wonder myself, what kind of nonsense am I doing? But if you do catch up, I mean, it'll just take you like 10 days to catch up with me. But just with these few videos, I believe that I am building this brand for myself as a lawyer who, does good work, of course, charges a good premium for that.